How you doing? This is Troy Ellis. Welcome to my kitchen. Welcome to Cooking is My Therapy. So today we're going to do a quick and easy oven roasted barbecue pork butt. So we're going to have a delicious rub we're going to put on. We're going to inject with some apple juice. And so it's going to be delicious. So this is my family. This is my kitchen. This is my home. So to introduce you to everybody, sometimes you're going to see some of my kids walk through. You're going to see my wife. So I wanted to be just like you would be at home cooking with your family, where you get interruptions, where you see your kids asking you questions about homework or someone running through trying to turn on the TV. So expect the unexpected. And let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to trim up our pork butt. We got a little bit of fat cap that we just kind of want to trim off, so we can make sure that our rub sticks onto that. And so then we're going to rub it down with a little bit of mustard and jack. Now we're just going to trim off some of this fat off of our pork butt. We don't want to trim off all of the fat cap because it does provide a barrier for moisture, but we don't need a super thick layer of it because, again, that's going to prevent the rub and the seasoning from getting or adhering to the meat. And take note that I'm using my white cutting board. So normally, just for me, just practice, I always have a separate cutting board for my raw meats versus what I use for my vegetables or anything that is not raw product, like a raw protein, chicken, beef, pork. So just, food safety, always, practice food safety in the kitchen. It's okay, Nia. So here's one of my, as I was telling you, my daughter's coming downstairs in the kitchen. My wife was telling her to, shh, that's okay. You're gonna get the Ellis family as they are. Come on, baby, you can come in. So we've trimmed up our pork butt right here. So now I'm just gonna flip it over. We got our bone here, and right here you can see these striation muscle. This is our money muscle right around here for our pork butt. So we're looking pretty good. If I'm turning it over. We got a nice big portion of the fat cap removed. So now we're just going to, just check both sides, trim up anything else that we want to get off of there. And then we're going to inject with our apple juice, and then we'll start doing our layers of rub. So now we're just going to inject with some simple apple juice. This is about 1 cup of apple juice. And it's okay if you see some of the liquid, kind of oozing out of the meat. That's good because we just want to get it nice and injected with some apple juice. You can use peach juice. You could use, some different other type of marinades or mixtures you like. But apple juice is, simple, something you can have around the house, and it does the job. Next, what we're going to do is use a little bit of a yellow squeeze mustard. And just kind of use this as an adhesive for a rub. Just not that much. Maybe a tablespoon. Just kind of rub it all over both sides of our pork butt. And all this is do to just act as a binder and an adhesive for our rubs. So we're going to start properly with our salt and pepper rub. Just plain kosher salt. A little bit of fresh cracked black pepper, a little bit of pink peppercorn in there, and then we're going to layer with our more of our sweet heat rub that consists of brown sugar, chili powder. So yeah, we'll get that done. So here again, you can just see a nice thin layer of yellow mustard, and then we'll get into adding our rub. The first rub we're going to add is just our kosher salt, a bit of fresh cracked pepper, and a little bit of pink peppercorn. It is liberally seasoned all sides of the pork butt. Because we're going to layer these flavors first with the salt and pepper, then we're going to add our sweet heat. And this layer of flavoring is just going to really, really make the pork pop. We're just going to just gently rub it in. The moisture starting to be drawn out of the meat. It's starting the rubs they're starting to tack up. So just a quick review: we injected after we trimmed. We injected with apple juice just to add some moisture, some sweetness. Then we did our first layer of salt, kosher salt, fresh cracked black pepper, and a little bit of pink peppercorn. Then we layered it with our sweet heat rub, which was our brown sugar, garlic powder, onion powder, chili flake, cumin, and then we just let that cover that liberally on each side of the pork butt. We're just kind of letting it sit here. We're going to probably let this tack up, and then we're going to put it in our roasting pan, and I'll show you how we do that, and then we'll put it in our 350-degree oven. So we're just building flavor, foundations of flavor. So again, we'll do one more time. Injection with apple juice, thin layer of yellow mustard, salt and pepper rub, sweet heat rub, letting the moisture draw out. This is going to create a beautiful bark. Now this was, even March, April, May, we would take this right out to the smoker. I like a little bit of the fruit woods, cherry, apple, adds a nice delicate sweet smoke to the meat. But right now, because of the January and it just snowed, so we're going to go right to our oven, and it should come out delicious. As you can see, I have my pork butt fat side up, so the fat cavity is going to the thin layer of fat cavity is going to protect the meat. We have the nice rub. You can see it's starting to tack up. I have a roasting pan with my wire rack, and I have my pan lined with aluminum foil. So what we're going to do is going to put this in a 350-degree oven, uncovered, and let that cook until we get that nice dark bark that we say that we want, and then we'll probably rewrap it in some aluminum foil and put it back in until we reach about an internal temperature of 190 degrees. We're now going to make our barbecue sauce for our pork. First, we're going to start with 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. To this, we'll add some diced onion, some minced garlic, this we're going to add our ketchup, our mustard, our vinegar, we're going to just combine. Then we're going to start adding some of our sweetener. So we have our brown sugar, Worcestershire sauce. Don't worry about the measurements. I will have that all in the recipe, which will be in the description of the video. A little bit of crushed chili flake. And now we're just gonna let this cook down. To this, we're gonna add a little bit of honey. So we took our pork out of the oven. It's about a 6-hour cook. I did wrap it midway through. So we're just going to pull it off. And as you can see, you got some nice bark here. You can see the steam coming off of it. You can see the bone right here. It's starting to pull back, and you see that. So we're going to grab a couple big forks and start to shred some of this pork. And then we'll be ready to eat. So you probably hear the kids and the family in the background watching the game. As I start to, as you can see, once I pull some of this pork away, you can see how it's just easily shredding like this. It just look delicious. Pulled pork, the juice from the apple juice, it's just oozing out. The bark, this money muscle, beautiful. So now we got it all nice and chopped up, pulled. Added a little bit of our barbecue sauce to it. Looks delicious.